Late November 1944. Colonel Oscar Koch, intelligence officer for Patton's Third Army, submitted a report to his commander. The assessment? German forces were withdrawing divisions from the front, reforming for a major offensive. Most likely target? The Ardennes sector. Patton read the report. He believed it. This assessment clashed with the prevailing view at Supreme Headquarters Allied Expeditionary Force, Supreme Headquarters. The dominant assessment remained that Germany could not mount a major offensive. Victory was weeks away. Early December, Koch updated his warning. German offensive imminent. Ardennes most likely. Headquarters did not treat it as actionable. Mid-December, Koch warned attack would come within days. The prevailing view stayed the same. December 16, 1944. German forces launched a massive offensive through the Ardennes. Complete surprise to Eisenhower's headquarters. Complete surprise to Bradley. Not a surprise to Patton. Not a surprise to Koch. Because Patton had his own intelligence network. Independent. Faster. More accurate. And Eisenhower's headquarters had tried to bring it under standardized control. Here is what makes this impossible. Intelligence officers do not predict major enemy offensives weeks in advance, while headquarters intelligence misses them completely. But Koch warned. Multiple times. Headquarters dismissed those warnings. December 16th, Koch was proven right. This is the story of why Patton built an independent intelligence network, why Koch's methods differed from centralized intelligence, and why the warning that could have reduced the surprise was ignored. Independent analysis predicted the bulge. Centralized intelligence missed it. Subscribe for the moment specialists were right and bureaucracy was wrong. Fall 1944. Patton's Third Army was advancing toward Germany. Colonel Oscar Koch served as Patton's intelligence officer throughout the European campaign. His method was direct. Interview prisoners immediately, send reconnaissance patrols deep, analyze patterns in real time. He distrusted centralized intelligence. Too slow, too filtered, too optimistic. Supreme Headquarters operated centralized intelligence for all Allied forces. Reports fed into headquarters analysis. Assessments were standardized. The system was designed for coordination, but centralization created delays. By the time assessments reached commanders, situations had changed. Patton operated faster than other commanders. He needed intelligence immediately. He trusted Koch completely. Koch's prisoner interrogations revealed information headquarters intelligence missed. Third Army maintained its own network. Koch's team interrogated prisoners directly. Analysis happened in hours, not days. This created parallel intelligence. Eisenhower's headquarters had its assessments. Third Army had Koch's. Sometimes they agreed, sometimes they did not. Eisenhower wanted unified intelligence. All armies should rely on centralized analysis. Parallel systems created confusion. Headquarters preferred that Patton rely on central intelligence, wait for coordinated assessments. Patton resisted. Koch's network was faster, more accurate. Third Army's success proved it worked. The tension remained unresolved. Some officers later suggested there was pressure on Third Army to conform to standardized procedures. By November 1944, optimism dominated Allied command. German army appeared defeated. Victory seemed weeks away. Headquarters intelligence reflected this optimism. Reports emphasized German weakness. Koch saw differently. November 1944. Different systems produced different conclusions. Koch was an analyst, not a general. His authority came from accuracy. He could warn Patton. He could not command headquarters to listen. His method required independence. If forced to operate through centralized channels, his effectiveness would collapse. Patton needed fast intelligence for rapid operations. Waiting for headquarters assessments meant losing tempo. But if headquarters and Third Army intelligence contradicted each other, coordination suffered. Patton chose speed. He protected Koch's independence even when it created friction. Eisenhower commanded multiple armies. Coordination required unified intelligence. Centralization made sense for coordination, but it sacrificed speed for standardization. Individual specialists like Koch could see patterns faster. Headquarters intelligence constraint. Headquarters had access to Ultra, British codebreaking intelligence. Ultra provided strategic picture, but Ultra had limitations. It revealed what Germans communicated, not what they kept silent. If Germans maintained radio silence, Ultra would miss it. Koch's method, interrogating prisoners, analyzing frontline patterns, caught what Ultra missed. German sergeant, captured late November 1944, near Metz. Standard headquarters interrogation focused on unit identification. Koch's team re-interrogated him with different questions. Where was your division 2 weeks ago? Which units are missing from the line? The sergeant answered. His division had been pulled back. Veteran units were disappearing. Koch noted the pattern. Divisions were being withdrawn deliberately, reforming for something. November 1944. Koch began seeing the pattern. Late November, first warning. According to Koch's later accounts and Third Army intelligence summaries, Koch submitted an assessment to Patton in late November. German divisions were disappearing, reforming for major offensive. Most vulnerable sector, Ardennes. Patton believed Koch. He ordered staff to develop contingency plans for Third Army pivot north. At headquarters, the dominant assessment was that Germany lacked resources for major offensive. Ultra did not provide a confirming signal in a way headquarters accepted. Early December. Updated warning. Koch updated his assessment. German preparations continuing. Ardennes target. Attack imminent. Patton maintained contingency plans. Headquarters assessment. German offensive capability remained minimal. Mid-December. Final warning. Koch submitted urgent assessment. German attack imminent. Within days. Ardennes sector. Patton ordered Third Army to prepare for immediate pivot. Headquarters maintained position. No major offensive capability detected. Why headquarters dismissed warnings? Historical records suggest multiple factors influenced headquarters assessment. Ultra did not provide a confirming signal in a way that was accepted. Strategic analysis concluded Germans lacked resources. Victory optimism may have created confirmation bias. Headquarters also faced credibility issues with Third Army intelligence. Accepting Koch's warnings would validate the parallel system headquarters wanted brought into alignment. December 16th. The offensive. German forces attacked through Ardennes at dawn. Multiple divisions. American lines collapsed. Headquarters was stunned. Bradley was surprised. Eisenhower was caught off guard. Patton received the news without surprise. He immediately executed contingency plans. With remarkable speed, Third Army pivoted north and counterattacked. Because Koch had predicted it, because Patton had prepared for it. December 16, 1944. Koch was vindicated. Headquarters faced uncomfortable questions. The aftermath of being right. Koch's warnings had been accurate. Weeks of warnings, multiple dismissals, then vindication. Headquarters faced uncomfortable questions. Why did Third Army intelligence predict the offensive while centralized analysis missed it? Some officers later suggested the situation increased resistance to Third Army independence. Admitting Koch was right meant admitting centralized intelligence had limitations. Patton never publicly criticized headquarters intelligence, but he protected Koch's network more fiercely after the Bulge. Third Army intelligence remained independent. The system that predicted the Bulge remained intact despite pressure for conformity. Staff Officer, Headquarters Intelligence Section, received Third Army reports throughout November and December. He read Koch's warnings. He checked Ultra intelligence. No confirmatory signals. Assessment: Third Army overcautious. German offensive capability minimal. December 16th. German offensive began. He realized Koch had been right. One possibility raised in later accounts. Ultra missed it because Germans maintained radio silence. Years later, we had the technology. Koch had the instinct. Despite Koch's vindication, centralized intelligence system did not fundamentally change. Independent networks continued to face pressure for coordination. Koch proved independent analysis could work. but headquarters maintained centralization was necessary for coalition warfare. First, ignored warnings. Koch warned late November, dismissed. Early December, dismissed. Mid-December, dismissed. December 16th, the offensive began. American forces were surprised. The warning had existed. It was ignored. Whether earlier action would have prevented the offensive remains debated, but the surprise could have been reduced. Second, centralization versus speed. Centralized system was designed for coordination, but it sacrificed speed. Individual specialists like Koch, working directly with commanders, could see patterns faster. The trade-off was never resolved. Third, vindication without reform. Koch was proven right. His methods worked. But centralized intelligence system did not adopt his methods. Independent networks continued facing pressure. The lesson was learned by Third Army, but not broadly implemented. Fourth, Patton's trust validated. Patton's decision to maintain independent intelligence was vindicated. Third Army's rapid response, pivoting and counterattacking with remarkable speed, was only possible because Koch had predicted the offensive and Patton had prepared. The independent network proved more accurate than centralized intelligence. Fifth, Koch's legacy. Koch was right, but gained no reform. The system that ignored him continued unchanged. Patton's relationship with headquarters grew more strained. The vindication brought credibility, but not structural change. Late November, 1944. Koch warned. Early December, he warned again. Mid-December, final warning. December 16th, he was proven right. Headquarters dismissed every warning. The centralized system missed what an independent analyst saw clearly. Patton built his own intelligence network because he needed speed. Koch developed methods headquarters could not replicate: direct interrogation, frontline analysis, unfiltered reporting. Eisenhower's headquarters wanted centralized control. The pressure on Patton to conform never fully disappeared. Some historians argue Koch's success was exceptional, that centralization was still necessary, that one accurate prediction did not invalidate the system. Others argue Koch proved independent analysis could see what bureaucracy missed. What is documented? Koch warned multiple times weeks before the attack. Headquarters dismissed those warnings. The offensive happened as Koch predicted. Third Army was ready because Patton trusted his own intelligence officer. The independent network proved more accurate than the centralized system. Patton protected Koch's independence until the war ended. The network that predicted the Bulge remained intact. The tension between centralization and speed was never resolved. December 16th, 1944. The day Koch was vindicated. The day headquarters faced uncomfortable questions. The day independent intelligence proved it could see what centralized systems missed. Patton had his own intelligence network. Koch made it work. And Eisenhower's headquarters had tried to bring it under standardized control, but could not. Because results matter, and Koch's results spoke for themselves. Headquarters wanted standardized control. Koch's independent network proved more accurate. Subscribe if that tension matters to you.